It is that time of year where the fangs come out, the fur grows, and yeah, it gets spooky. So we're going to do spooky stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Will, and welcome back to the month of October. For the month of October on this channel, I typically do more horror-based movies, more monster movies, things like that. And today is no different. Today, for our quick review, I am doing Renfield. This stars Nicolas, Holt, Nicolas Cage, and Aquafina. This came out this year in 2023, and it is a horror comedy basically about Renfield, who is the tortured servant of Count Dracula, played by Nicolas Cage, who decides one day to get out of his abusive relationship. It's actually kind of fun, and I got to watch it, so let's talk about it. Before I talk about it, thanks for checking out this channel. If this happens to be your first time checking out one of my videos, hi, my name is Will, and I do geeky stuff on the internet. I do reviews and reactions, discussions, some gaming, some drinking. I just like to have fun, and I hope you do have fun watching this video as well. And since it is the month of October, that is important for two things. Number one, it is my birthday month, and I'm fast approaching the age of 40. Aww. Yeah. And B, it's also the month of Halloween, so usually I try to look at some more horror style and suspense style movies, ranging the gamut from actually horror scary to horror funny, horror comedy, horror satire. So look forward to a string of movies that I will be taking a look at on the channel, and some other little fun things I'm hoping I can actually get done in the month. So let's talk about Renfield. So Renfield, like I said, is the story of Renfield, who is the servant de jour. That's a word I just threw out there. But he is the controlled servant of Count Dracula, played by Nicolas Cage, who has spent the last few centuries basically doing his master's bidding, keeping him sustained for the most part, bringing him innocent people, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. That changes once he's kind of more into our modern times and encounters Aquafina's character of Rebecca, who is a no-nonsense police officer who's trying to deal with the corruption in their city. And seeing that sort of bravery kind of sparked something inside of Renfield to attempt to rise up and rebel against Dracula, basically telling him, I'm done with this very toxic relationship, and attempts to try to live a life, which, as you can guess, may or may not go all that well. This is actually more of a horror comedy than an actual horror movie. There is plenty of gore and violence in it. It is a bit over the top in terms of like how the gore and the blood and the violence is actually treated in the movie. It's very much reminded me more of, like, to a lesser extent, like a Deadpool, where it's about a main character who has the ability to sort of talk to the audience and sort of expound their life through the magic of breaking the fourth wall to a certain extent. We hear throughout a lot of the movie, we hear like Renfield's voice basically talking about his experience, his life, what he's looking for, why he's in this situation, and then the growth that the character makes throughout the movie, where they get to a point where they realize, yeah, I'm in an abusive relationship and I need to get out. And it's funny how the movie uses the concept of going to like an AA meeting to get that sort of help and to actually kind of spark that sort of resistance within the character. And that was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed the movie. It's a lot of fun. It's cute, but also it plays with the gore and the blood and the concept of Dracula and the relationship with his servant and what Dracula really wants. It does that in a fun and interesting way that I haven't really seen. I don't really watch a ton of horror movies, and again, this is more on the line of comedy than horror, but there is gore and violence, and it stars an iconic character like Dracula, played by an iconic actor in Nicolas Cage, so I kind of count it when it comes to that sort of genre. Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage. He is hilarious, he is fun, he is unhinged, over the top. It's everything that you would want from Nicolas Cage when he's taking on the role of Count Dracula. Pretty funny in certain spots, it's very gory in certain spots, but like I said, the gore is actually used in a more comedic fashion. Like there's a sort of an action set piece in towards the end of the movie, where Renfield is like ripping the arms off of some of the police officers that are trying to chase him, to the shock and horror of Awkwafina's character, but also it's treated more in a lightheartedness, which I actually really enjoyed with the movie. Like the concept of Dracula and Renfield's relationship being toxic and codependent in a negative way, and how Renfield was more so playing the victim than actually being a victim, while also still being a victim by the manipulation of Count Dracula, was an interesting way, I thought, of giving new life to the story of Dracula. We've seen variations of the Dracula character for so long. We've seen it in a very hardcore horror sense, like your Interview with the Vampire, but we also have seen it in the comedic sense, like Dracula Dead and Loving It and stuff with Leslie Nielsen, or in sort of a weird mix of action and comedy, like the Van Helsing movie. I really like that portrayal of Dracula as well. Have I done Van Helsing on this channel? I don't even know if I've actually done it yet. I've done so many videos, it's crazy. I really enjoyed this interpretation of the character. I thought some of the other side antagonists and villains of the movie were fun, but this is mainly there as a ability to give Dracula some henchmen once Renfield kind of rebels. So their presence was enjoyable. Like, I like Ben Schwartzman, and he does the voice of Sonic, and he was very over the top in this one. Like, a lot of characters are very over the top, which kind of juxtaposed with Nicolas Holt's portrayal of Renfield, who's very subdued in a lot of aspects of it. I never saw Warm Bodies, which was another pseudo horror comedy type movie that came out a few years ago, also starring Nicolas Holt. That was like when a zombie fell in love with a girl and started getting life again, which is kind of weird. So I think it's interesting that he's kind of done a few of these movies in this sort of altered genre that's a blending of both your horror elements like zombies or with vampires, but mixed in with like a love story and comedy. I really kind of like that sort of interplay of the themes that the movie was trying to do. It's not necessarily like what I would say it's like a masterpiece of filmmaking or anything like that, but it's a fun hour-and-a-half movie that has some pretty brutal action set pieces mixed in with a level of comedy and charm that I think works really well with Nicolas Holt as an actor. He has a very likable presence, but I've also seen him in more serious stuff too. So he's just a really good wide range actor, and I think he does a really fun job with the movie. And I think Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage, and he does a great job playing over-the-top characters. So I did have a lot of fun watching Renfield, and I'm glad I checked it out. That is going to do it for this quick review for Renfield. You can watch it now. It is on Peacock, so if you have the Peacock streaming network, you can watch it for free. Quick jaunt of a movie, and I do recommend checking it out. At least, give it a watch and see what you think about it. And let me know if you have seen the movie. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. Thank you so much for checking out this and all of my videos. I really do appreciate it. I do have a few other horror movies lined up that I'm going to be watching. Again, this is like horror comedy, but I am going to be looking at The Conjuring, which I've never seen it. I'm going to watch it, and a few other ones on my list. I'm going to try to touch a little bit of everything if possible. So I hope you stick around for that. If you are new here and you happen to enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would really help me out. I'm trying to hit 650 subscribers this year. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'd love to at least cross 600, but I can't get there without you. So hopefully you will subscribe to the channel, maybe like and share this video around as well. You can follow me on a lot of different social media platforms listed at the end of the video. I do have a ton of videos currently on the channel that you're more than welcome to check out. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, until next time, I will catch you later. Ooh, that's weird. I'll catch you later. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you did like this video, why not give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends? You can subscribe to the channel by clicking on my gorgeous little face right over there. You can follow me on all the various social media platforms right below. And last but certainly not least, if you've got a few extra minutes, why not check out one of the lovely videos floating right over here. Later.